So after that incident, I was so discouraged. I figured, you know what, I can't do this.
Tumela vakayesu kunjani to all my brothers and sisters in Botswana, South Africa, Zimbabwe. To my brothers and sisters in Zambia, mwashivukeni kaidi mwaikalashani. Unovushukubwalelo. To my brothers and sisters in East, West and North Africa, and indeed the diaspora, welcome. If we have not met, my name is Kelvin Piri, and I'm running this series on YouTube, How to Build in Zambia While Living in the Diaspora. And for those who are in the diaspora and you are interested in this subject, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and smack that bell so that every time I share content on this matter, on these subjects, you will not be left out. This series is all about encouraging, motivating, and sharing ideas. Today, I have actually got a very interesting video that I want to invite you to watch. And this is an interview that I had with our sister who lives in the United States. I recently shared a video of her. I thought to myself, why not invite her? And perhaps we can learn one or two things that might have not been shared in the videos that we've watched. But hey, I will not waste your time. So let me let my guest introduce herself, and I hope you enjoy this video.
Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Bridget Mutwale Wint, originally from Zambia, but now based in the USA. And I don't know what else I can say about myself.
All right, that's wonderful. So how long have you been in the United States?
So I've been in the United States since 1997. So I've been here a long time, except we had a 7-year absence when my husband and I went back to live in Zambia. Okay. So I've been, wow, yes.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. And so how do you find the United States? I know you've been there for quite a long time. Do you miss home? How do you find it there?
So I enjoy living here. I miss home a whole lot. I try to go every single year because I really do miss home, and I've never really left home. My heart has always been there.
Right.
So yeah, I enjoy being here. It's a whole different world for me.
Okay.
But my family is here, and I've kind of settled in both worlds. Really.
That's right. So are you able to share a little bit? I mean, which part of Zambia, where exactly are you from when you talk of Zambia?
All right. So I am from a small town called Kasempa. It's in the northwestern province of Zambia.
Yes.
Yes. And those who may know where Solwezi is, it's like a couple hours away from Solwezi. I grew there with I was raised by my grandparents, so I'm literally a village girl. I grew up in the village, raised there at the time I was about 2 years old, and up until I left home, pretty much. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. I know Kasempa. I think I've probably passed through there. I know Solwezi. So yeah, that's really nice. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you are in the United States. I mean, what are you doing at the moment in the United States? I know your family is there. Are you in business? Are you working? What are you doing in the United States?
So I came out here to study.
Okay.
Before I left Zambia, high school teacher, I taught sciences, which is physics, biology, chemistry, high school. So after I taught for about 5 years, I decided to come here for further studies. That is after stint in South Africa, where I did a 1-year course. I decided to come out here to study. My field of study is counseling psychology. So I have a master's degree in counseling psychology. My plan was to study and go back home. But then this guy that completely changed my mind, and that's how so I've done all kinds of things while I've been here. I've worked as a counselor. I've worked in a library. I've done all kinds of things. But right now, my husband and I run our own business. We renovate houses. And I also have a store where I sell fashion or clothing. And my primary preoccupation is taking care of and my family. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Fantastic. That's really wonderful. You're very busy, I must say.
Yeah.
Now, the series. Go on.
I said I am busy, but it's a good busy.
It's a good busy. That's one. You know, the series. Just to get on to what I'm trying to do. The series I'm running on YouTube is how to build in Zambia, and I think somebody will probably ask and say, how did I, know you, or how did I meet you? So I saw your video of how you're doing something in Zambia, and I think before I jump into that, being in the States for quite some time. Why did you think of start building in Zambia? I mean, why Zambia? Why not?
So
why not where you are?
Okay, so why Zambia? It's my home country, and I grew up there. I miss it, and I wanted to have a base there. So even though my family is here, my extended family is still in Zambia, and I visit where anytime I go back, I will always have a place to stay.
Yeah.
And also, I'm one of those people that are blessed enough to have had their children in Zambia. So while we were 7 years, that's when I had my 2 daughters. Okay. And so they know themselves as Africans. They consider themselves both African and American.
Yes.
Because of that, I want them to feel that they have roots there. So having our own is really, really important for all of us. That's why I decided to build.
Fantastic. And now you are on that journey. I know I think in the video that I watched, you talked about you bought a piece of land after 10 years, and then you thought, I'm ready, I'm going to start building. How was the process to start with of buying land? Was that simple and easy? How was that?
So we had other properties in my hometown of Kasempa.
Oh, right.
But I decided I wanted a piece of land in Lusaka. Now, the process wasn't easy because we were working with a very limited budget. And we looked at newspapers and online resources, and we noticed that the prices of land were really high. We could not afford it. So we would just reach out to our network. We talked to relatives. They gave us suggestions, and nothing was really panning out for a very long time. Yeah. And then we just decided to take a ride one afternoon, went out to Chilanga area. For those that may know Lusaka, we just took a drive. And while we were on that drive, my children were really young at that time. And we both very fussy. So we stopped at the guest house just to take a break. Yeah. And then my husband just walked into this guest house and said, if you happen to know somebody who is selling land, could you please let us know?
Wow.
And as it turned, the girl that was at the reception said, you know what, an agent was just here a few days ago, and he left this number saying, in case somebody is looking for land, let them know. Wow. So we got the number and called right away. The day we met up with this agent, and we went and looked at the land, and that was the beginning of the process. So that's a piece of land. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. That's a very nice story there. And that's the land where you are building. And what about the obtaining of titles? Was there an issue there, or it just went plain smooth? Because I know people get stuck with that. How was that for you?
So in our case, it worked out so well.
Wow.
Mind you, lost another piece of land right before that. Just to take it back a little bit, so it doesn't look like it was all easy.
Yeah.
We had looked at another land, we gave the down payment, and we were so excited to go ahead with processing, only for the agent to call us and say it wasn't ours anymore because the police had decided they wanted it. And you know how with that, you can't do anything about it. So we lost that piece of land. But in this particular one, it was already on title, and the person who owned it had just subdivided it. And we used the lawyer to make sure that everything was clean. And we got the title within a few months. Wow. So it went very straightforward.
Wow, that's wonderful. It's good to hear such stories sometimes, because I know not everybody will have that story, because I hear quite a lot of people complain about buying land. It's quite good to know that there are some positive stories as well, buying land. Now, fast forward 10 years after that, you decide to start building. Take us through the process. I mean, obviously you had an architect. Did you employ a Zambian architect, or you employed somebody from United States to do the drawing? How was that process?
So it took us, first of all, it took us 10 years because I couldn't figure out a way to build while I was here. Tried to build a small structure, and I lost a lot of money because we ended up building it slightly into the corner of our neighbor. So you can imagine, the house was already at the level, and we had to pull it down. So after that incident, I was so discouraged. I figured, you know what, I can't do this. I almost sold the land. I put it up for sale, and some ladies who were interested in this land came up and even made an offer. But I realized my plot was big enough to house 12 women that were going to subdivide it. And I thought about it. I'm like, what am I doing? I mean, these people are willing to subdivide this piece of land. That means there's some value to this. So that's how I changed my mind.
Wow.
And 10 years into the journey, I decided to just pick up. After having saved a little bit of money, I decided to go and just be there for about 6 weeks and see how I would take it. 2021, right after the worst of the pandemic, I decided to travel to Zambia and put up the foundation as the very first thing. So when I had my brother who helped me to figure out where, to get a contract and all that. Let me go. I think you had asked me about who I use as an architect.
As an architect, that's right, yes.
So my husband is very technical. He's in the industry. So we looked at inspirations for the type of house we wanted. And usually he designs this every house that we've built. But this, he told me, he gave me free reign to decide. And so I actually took about a year to look at house designs on YouTube. And when I felt like I figured out what I wanted, I showed him the video, and he looked at the house plan, and we kind of tweaked it so that we are our own original design. So my husband is drawing, actually.
Okay, wonderful. That's brilliant. And so he did the drawings, and then you went and submitted to the council in Zambia.
Right. So for that paperwork, I happened to have a very reliable brother. He helped me. He helped me with all the paperwork, council and everything. So by the time I got to Zambia, I was ready to build.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. And now again, I keep on saying 10 years after buying that piece of land, and now you're thinking you're ready. And how was that process to actually mobilize on site? Did you go through identifying a contractor that you're going to use? Did you have multiple quotations, or how did you manage that process? I know you've mentioned a little bit, I think in the video that you mentioned, you recorded, but how did you manage that process there?
Yes, so as with anything else, I usually multiple quotations because I want to compare prices.
Yeah.
So I had a few people that I was looking at. We narrowed it down to somebody that a friend of mine had recommended. They had worked with them, and so I was comfortable enough, even though I actually, in this case, I didn't see their work in person, but based on very reliable recommendation, because I didn't have time to go searching and looking, I decided to go with this one contractor.
Oh.
The plan we had was to just get the foundation done.
That's right.
We went through that process of finding the contractor. We started, I guess, a week after I got there. I mean, I was so about it. I was going to get the foundation done and get back home. So we organized everybody. I was there on the first day. We used, we outlined the house, and that was so exciting because now I see my vision taking form. And we dug the what do you
foundations.
Call it? The foundation. I'm trying to find
the trenches or foundation trenches. Yes.
We dug trenches and we did the setting and all that. I finally got the foundation done in about a month.
Okay.
And I was gonna be done for that. I was getting ready to come back home, and then my flight got cancelled because of the pandemic. The airline that I was using canceled my flight.
Yes.
And I panicked for a while, and then my husband just said, take this time to just see what else we can do.
Yeah.
So but at that point, I had a little bit more money than I expected because the dollar exchange and dollar kwacha exchange was really good. So I had more, and I just decided to continue.
Fantastic.
Yes, and at that point, actually, I had to change contractors because the one I was using, we didn't see eye to eye on some things, and I just prefer to work with somebody that I'm comfortable with. He did an excellent job, but I just had to let him go.
Fantastic.
We found another, and then we just continued.
Wonderful. Yes. Right. I know you've and I keep on going back. I know you've done 2 parts of your journey so far. What is the name of your channel? Because I think rather than us going through the same stuff that you've already got, I would encourage everyone that is watching this video to actually go to your channel and actually get the detail of what your journey was. And I think I've watched the videos, and I'm really liked what you've done. And so what's the name of your channel?
First of all, thank you so much. You've been extremely supportive, and I really appreciate that you actually did a reaction video on one of my videos, and I'm grateful for that. So my channel is Bridget Wint. If you just type in my name, I'm sure you're going to channel in the description box as well. Yes, I do share my journey on my channel because I want to encourage other people in the diaspora to build Africa. Like, we have such an incredible opportunity to participate in the development of our continent. So I thought of sharing my journey with a goal to encourage other people to do the same. So my channel is Bridget Wint.
Fantastic. I mean, one will be, I mean, at the beginning, you talked about being more or less like an educator. And I could see talking to you, you have that passion for building. Where does that passion comes from?
Oh my goodness. Well, my passion for building, I think, goes as far back as how I was brought up.
Yeah.
My parents were entrepreneurs.
Yes.
They built their village from nothing.
Wow.
Yes, my grandfather was actually a doctor. And after he retired, he decided to go back to the village and build his farm. Okay, so I saw them building all the time. And I think passion rubbed off on me because there's something so unique and powerful about building your own home. You get to create something that didn't exist before. So I've been involved in building, especially in Zambia, for the past 15 years.
Wow.
My husband built a non-governmental organization. It's basically a charity where we took care of children. My husband happens to be a pastor. He taught other pastors in the area in Kasempa. Okay. So we built this whole organization from nothing to a children's home, a library, and a conference center. So I've been involved in building for quite a while.
Wow.
And so I carried on passion into now building my dream home in Lusaka, which, by the way, I think is beginning, because after this dream home, I want to build my dream villa. So I have some great plans for the future. The Lord tarries.
Yeah, I mean, you've just talked about great plans. What are your plans in Zambia? Are you thinking of, the villa? Is it in the United States or in Zambia? What are your plans for, building or investment plans for Zambia?
So this home that we built is our anchor home.
Yes.
Like I said, I want to stay in my own home when I go back to Zambia with especially. And this villa I'm talking about would be on the same property. I can't afford to build a villa here in the US for obvious reasons.
That's right.
A whole different ballgame. We are in the housing industry here in the US as well, but it's more on a renovation side of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to build a villa. I know it's very ambitious.
Yes.
I don't. You watch this guy from Kenya, Ayamara, and the type of villa is building. I follow him on that part of his journey when he's talking about the building, and I just think that is so fantastic. Now that's massive. I don't think I can ever afford that size, the villa, but maybe a miniature side of that.
A miniature side of it. Yeah.
Yes. So as far as the plans, obviously I have my life here as well as in Zambia. I see myself going back and forth, developing my property, maybe even have rental houses or Airbnb, but I want to develop that piece of land. It's a 2-acre piece of land. So it's a good size. And I have so many dreams and visions for it. What will actually happen, I don't know what the future holds, but I hope to develop it further.
Fantastic. That's really, really, really great. And I think I mean, you've already started that journey, and I know obviously you me now meeting and knowing who you are, and obviously you've seen what I'm doing. There are a lot of brothers and sisters in the diaspora watching and watching this, and I think we've got a group on Facebook of basically people in the diaspora, and I think everyone on that wants to build in Africa and he's probably got that dream and say, what you're doing, we need to do that. What could you say to them? How can you encourage them?
So my encouragement to people in the diaspora is, please don't wait. Start now. there's a reason that why so many huge corporations are landing into Africa to take over so much of our land. If you have an opportunity to build, this is the time. Don't wait. Start small, or even just at least buy a piece of land if you don't have one. If you have family members that are offering you a piece of land, don't sneeze on that, just take the opportunity and just go for it. Africa is exciting right now. And I bet you in about 10 years, we won't even recognize that whole continent. So why not do the game like right now? Yeah. So just even second guess yourself, it's worth it. And anybody from my channel who are seeing Kelvin for the first time, please go support him. I love the work he's doing. Let's join hands together. There's space for everybody. Yes. And I want to encourage anybody who wants to start a YouTube channel, look at what the two of us are doing. We are not any more than you are. Let's do it. Let's bring Africa to the forefront. Let's encourage each other. Let's hold hands and just do this thing together.
Do this thing together. I mean, there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from our brothers and sisters in East Africa, in West Africa. They are doing great things. So we can do the same in Zambia. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, we can.
Yeah. Fantastic. Really appreciate, Bridget, really appreciate your time. And thank you very much for coming and joining us on this series as we do this series. And we hope to keep in touch and we'll definitely be watching everything that you are doing. We'll follow you, and I encourage everyone that is watching, mwebali bakwalesa, mwebali ku Zambia, na mwebali mwonse, mwebali muntu ena umupyalo fyabalungwana. Please go back home. If you have an opportunity to buy land, muye mushitempanga. And remember to subscribe to our sister, and to everyone in Africa, please subscribe to our sister's channel and follow what she's doing. You will learn quite a lot. And God bless you, and we'll see you again in the next video.